There's something the world never told you. Not every Capricorn is the same. And not every Capricorn is meant to be a millionaire. But if you were born on certain dates, you weren't just born for success. You were coded for it. You see, your birthday isn't random. It's not just the day you arrived in this world, it's the cosmic signature of the life you were destined to live. And for Capricorns, the most disciplined sign of the Zodiac, that signature carries a secret formula for wealth, power, and long-lasting legacy. But only a few ever discover it. Let me ask you something personal. Have you ever felt like you're carrying a quiet force inside you, something the world underestimates, but you know is there? Have you ever looked around and thought, why do I feel older than my age? Why do I carry more responsibility than most? Why do I work so hard, and yet feel like there's something bigger waiting for me, but I just can't see it? If so, you're not alone. In fact, that feeling might be the first sign that you were born on one of the Capricorn millionaire dates where Saturn, your ruling planet, planted a seed of unmatched potential. But here's the problem. Most people never activate this energy. They go through life thinking they're just regular, when in truth, they were carrying the blueprint of a millionaire soul. Not because of luck, not because of chance, but because of alignment. And here's what's even more mysterious. Two Capricorns can be born only days apart. Yet one becomes a powerful leader, the other becomes emotionally stuck. One silently builds an empire, the other drowns in perfectionism. One cracks the code to abundance, while the other gives everything away and receives nothing back. The difference? It's not just personality. It's not just upbringing. It's the day you were born. Because every day between December 22nd and January 19th carries its own frequency. A specific kind of wealth energy. Some days are ruled by logic, others by intuition. Some build empires through structure, others through emotion. And only when you understand the strengths coded into your birthday, can you fully unlock the abundance meant for you. This is not just astrology. This is Capricorn mastery, the art of building a life that lasts generations. In this video, we're going to decode your Capricorn birth date and reveal whether you were born carrying the traits of a millionaire, a visionary, a builder, a strategist, or a spiritual leader. But this isn't just entertainment. It's a call to remember who you really are. So stay with me. Because if you were born between December 22nd and January 19th, and especially if your birthday falls on certain key dates, your destiny is already written. It's not about if you'll be successful. It's about when you'll finally step into what's always been yours. Let's begin. Part 1, The Builders, December 22nd to 26th, the silent millionaire archetype. There is a type of Capricorn that does not need applause. They don't chase followers. They don't need to prove anything. They just build quietly, deliberately, and one day you realize they've created a foundation that others envy but could never replicate. These are the builders. And if you were born between December 22nd and December 26th, you may be carrying the silent code of a millionaire, forged in discipline and cemented by long-term vision. December 22nd, the architect of logic. Capricorns born on December 22nd are grounded in clear thinking. They are highly analytical, often ahead of others in understanding how systems work, whether it's business, relationships, or society at large. They don't waste time with emotional drama or distractions. Instead, they focus on what works. People trust them because they offer structure in the middle of chaos. They don't rush into decisions, but when they move with purpose. These Capricorns often excel in industries where logic is king: finance, architecture, systems design, engineering. They rarely take shortcuts. Instead, they take the long road, knowing it's the only one that doesn't collapse. Their strength is not in being loud, it's in being precise. And when wealth comes, it doesn't surprise them. They designed it that way. December 23rd, the emotional bricklayer. Capricorns born on December 23rd may seem reserved. Some might even call them cold at first. But beneath that surface lies one of the deepest hearts in the Zodiac. They build slowly but with care. In love, in career, in personal goals, everything is placed, brick by brick, with full intention. They don't express love in grand gestures. They show it through presence, loyalty, and the consistency that most people only dream of receiving. In business, this turns into long-term wealth. They don't chase trends, they invest in what they understand. They don't panic when others do, they quietly stick to their strategy, and that's exactly what builds generational fortune. December 24th, the relentless planner. Those born on Christmas Eve are determined in a way that's almost unnerving. They know what they want, and they know how to get there. Their minds function like a map. They are long-term thinkers, capable of seeing 5, 10, even 20 years ahead. It makes them excellent investors, entrepreneurs, or any role that demands vision, structure, and responsibility. But they're not just mental planners. They carry emotional depth. They care about outcomes not just for themselves, but for those they love. They build not just wealth, but legacy. And that's why they don't burn out. They pace themselves, protect their energy, and keep their eyes locked on the outcome long after others have lost focus. December 25th, the warm strategist. Capricorns born on December 25th carry a unique energy, calm, centered, and deeply warm. They often carry a smile, a soft voice, a comforting presence. But make no mistake, these are warriors of strategy. They don't need to dominate the room. They simply own the energy within it. They lead with empathy. They influence without pushing. They create win-win situations in business and in life. Often, these Capricorns are found in leadership roles that require grace and diplomacy. They do well in wellness industries, consulting, public relations, or founding value-driven companies. Their wealth comes through alignment. When their values match their actions, abundance flows naturally. December 26th, the unshakable analyst. Capricorns born on this day are practical to the core. They can walk into chaos and find a step-by-step solution others missed. Their strength is in clarity. They do not guess, they measure, test, and analyze. These individuals are often the unseen heroes behind successful ventures. They are the planners, the advisors, the ones who ensure that the vision actually works. They may come off as overly serious at times, even distant. But it's because their mind is constantly scanning for problems and solving them before others even notice. When it comes to money, they're not gamblers. They're builders. And because they don't waste resources, time, energy, or money, everything they touch becomes more stable and more profitable. Life lesson of the builders. You were not born to be loud. You were born to be effective. The world may celebrate flash and noise, but you build things that last. Your superpower is not in making people look, it's in making things work. And in the long run, that's what creates true wealth. You do not chase money. You design the kind of life that money is drawn to. And if you stay patient, focused, and clear, everything the world told you would take luck will come to you through mastery. Part 2, The Strategists, December 27th to 31st Legacy through Systems. Some Capricorns aren't just here to succeed, they're here to create a legacy. Not through loud ambition, but through smart structure, foresight, and impeccable timing. These are the strategists, those born between December 27th and December 31st. They don't need the spotlight. They'd rather design the stage, control the lighting, and write the script. And by the time others realize who's really in charge, it's already too late to catch up. If you were born during these dates, chances are, you don't follow chaos. You study it. You don't react to emotions. You manage them. You don't dream casually. You calculate dreams like a business plan, and that's why many of you are destined for power, position, and long-term wealth. December 27th, the Master of Inner Strategy. Capricorns born on December 27th carry a surprising trait. They are profoundly intuitive, yet grounded in real-world thinking. This creates a rare combination, someone who can sense shifts before they happen and act strategically in response. They may work in creative fields, psychology, or innovation, but no matter the industry, they carry an almost psychic ability to know when to move and when to wait. This makes them excellent investors, spiritual entrepreneurs, or pioneers in industries that require timing and trust. Their wealth doesn't come from hustle, it comes from alignment. They feel before they act. They assess before they speak. And when they commit, the results are often long-lasting and deeply transformative. Their challenge: loneliness. It's not easy being 5 steps ahead of the world. But when they find the right environment, they don't just build wealth, they build empires of meaning. December 28th, the disciplined climber. Those born on December 28th are relentless. Not aggressive, not impulsive, but internally wired to keep moving forward no matter what. They are the ones who take a failure, dissect it, and return to the game stronger. They are fiercely independent and carry a quiet confidence that doesn't need external approval. In professional life, they're often drawn to entrepreneurship, consulting, high-performance careers, or anything that rewards precision and excellence. They don't stop at success. They optimize it. They read the fine print. They pay attention to what others overlook. And that's where their wealth begins, in the details no one else respects, but they master. Their presence brings a feeling of safety. People feel protected around them because they exude structure, strength, and capability. And in the world of business or leadership, that's magnetic. December 29th, the guiding force. Born near the close of the year, Capricorns on December 29th carry the energy of closure and leadership. They aren't loud leaders. They're quiet anchors. They walk into a room and instantly shift the tone, not by raising their voice, but by grounding the energy. People often turn to them in crisis. Not because they have all the answers, but because they ask the right questions. They are often advisors, mentors, heads of organizations, or the unofficial backbone of any system they're part of. But here's what sets them apart. They don't just lead. They inspire transformation. Even when they're not trying to, their presence causes others to rise higher, think clearer, and work with more focus. They're natural strategists because they understand people, power, and timing. And when they decide to focus on their own abundance, it comes because they've already been helping everyone else succeed for years. December 30th, the bold reformer. Capricorns born on December 30th carry the fire of reinvention. They're not afraid to break old patterns, challenge systems, and walk away from anything that no longer serves growth. These are the Capricorns who rebuild companies, transform industries, or pioneer new paths. They can be intense, perfectionistic even. But their intensity is not for show. It's the demand they place on themselves and those around them to do better, be better, live better. They are fearless in their pursuit of change. Where others avoid discomfort, they dive into it. And that's where their wealth emerges, from doing what others are too scared to do. People often admire them from afar, but few can keep up. And that's okay, because they weren't meant to follow. They were meant to lead revolutions quietly and rebuild the rules in their own image. December 31st, the creative architect. Capricorns born on the final day of the year carry a unique blend of independence and imagination. They are inventors, creators, builders of ideas that others thought impossible. They are naturally drawn to creating from scratch, whether it's businesses, projects, or lifestyles. They have an uncanny ability to take nothing and turn it into something powerful. But what's most fascinating is how they combine discipline with vision. They dream boldly, but they also follow through. They understand how the world works and where it could be better. So they take it upon themselves to build the bridge between the two. Their challenge: they sometimes isolate themselves, thinking no one else sees what they see. But when they share their vision with the right people, momentum ignites. These Capricorns don't just build success. They build the future. Life lesson of the strategists. You weren't born to copy what already exists. You were born to see patterns, design systems, and lead people through complexity. Your power is not in speed, it's in foresight. You don't just chase wealth. You structure it. And while others are distracted by what's urgent, you stay focused on what's important. That's what makes your success inevitable. Part 3, the visionaries, January 1st to 10th, the rebirth of wealth. There's a different kind of Capricorn energy that arrives at the start of the new year. It's still disciplined, still structured, but now it's infused with bold creativity, pioneering instinct, and a quiet desire to change the world. Capricorns born between January 1st and January 10th are not here to follow tradition. They're here to redefine it. They don't just build what's been done, they reimagine what's possible. And when their vision meets their inner discipline, they don't just create success. They create movements. These Capricorns carry the codes of evolution. They take risks, not recklessly, but intentionally. They dream, not idly, but strategically. And because of this, many of them are destined for breakthroughs others can only fantasize about. January 1st, the pioneer of possibility. Born on the very first day of the year, these Capricorns carry an energy of rebirth, leadership, and innovation. They are not afraid of starting over. In fact, they often thrive when they're given a blank canvas. They see opportunities where others see limits. They're not the type to complain, they're the type to say, "Let's build something better." They are often drawn to entrepreneurship, tech innovation, coaching, or public leadership. Whatever they do, they ignite energy in others. When faced with failure, they don't retreat, they recalculate. They adjust. They evolve. And because of that, they often experience multiple waves of success throughout life. Their wealth comes not just from ideas, but from their ability to activate those ideas with precision and courage. January 2nd, the quiet warrior. Capricorns born on January 2nd seem gentle, reserved, soft-spoken. But underneath that calm presence is a steel spine. They are resilient to the core, capable of enduring pressure that would break others. They are excellent listeners, loyal friends, and deeply thoughtful thinkers. But don't mistake their kindness for passivity. They know who they are. They just don't need to advertise it. They succeed because they move without drama. While others react emotionally, they stay grounded. And that makes them invaluable in leadership, healthcare, therapy, or any role where emotional intelligence meets decision-making. Their wealth isn't flashy. It's earned with dignity, and it's managed with care. They may not have the loudest presence, but they leave a lasting impact wherever they go. January 3rd, the intelligent executor. Capricorns born on January 3rd are often seen as natural problem solvers. They are sharp, efficient, and able to translate complex ideas into real-world results. They carry a no-nonsense energy. They're not interested in empty talk. They want results, and they're willing to do what it takes to get them. Because of this, they are often placed in positions of trust, especially in times of crisis. People turn to them when things fall apart. And they deliver, quietly but decisively. They thrive in business development, law, operations, or any field where structure, speed, and clarity are prized. Their wealth doesn't come from being liked. It comes from being relied on. And over time, that reliability becomes a magnet for respect, power, and long-term success. January 4th, the explorer of experience. Those born on January 4th don't like stagnation. They crave new experiences, new perspectives, new ideas. But unlike more impulsive signs, they balance their curiosity with caution. They're travelers in spirit even if they never leave their hometown. They are explorers of thought, culture, and human behavior. This gives them a creative intelligence that allows them to connect dots others don't even see. They make excellent entrepreneurs, content creators, educators, or designers. Anything that lets them blend structure with imagination is where they thrive. And because they believe that life is meant to be lived fully, they are often surrounded by richness, not just in money, but in story, connection, and purpose. Their wealth, it's earned through adventure, but sustained by discipline. January 5th, the embodied performer. Capricorns born on January 5th often have an acute awareness of the mind-body connection. They are drawn to health, fitness, beauty, and personal development not from vanity, but from optimization. They want to live life at their fullest potential, physically, mentally, and emotionally. This makes them powerful leaders in the world of wellness, coaching, athletics, modeling, or performance-based industries. They may seem intense in their routines, but that intensity is what builds excellence. They are the kind of people who train in silence and then shock the world with the results. Wealth comes to them through consistency and credibility. People trust them, follow them, and pay them because they live what they teach. January 6th, the connector. Capricorns born on January 6th are socially gifted, diplomatic, and emotionally intelligent. They know how to navigate people not by manipulating, but by understanding. They have a gift for turning conflict into collaboration, making them excellent in business partnerships, negotiation, and client-facing roles. People naturally trust them, and they use that trust to build bridges between ideas, between people, and between dreams and reality. They often succeed in leadership, sales, branding, or personal development spaces. But their secret power is their ability to remain grounded while everyone else is reacting. They don't get swept up in emotional chaos, they hold steady. And that steadiness becomes their brand. Their wealth comes from their reputation, relationships, and strategic timing. January 7th, the peacekeeper with a mission. January 7th Capricorns have a deep desire to bring peace, order, and clarity to the world around them. They don't do this with force, they do it with grace. They are natural mediators, peacemakers, and healers, both in words and in presence. They are the kind of people who can sit with someone in pain and help them find their way back to themselves. But they also carry a powerful inner mission, a desire to create lasting impact. They may write, teach, counsel, or lead organizations that shift consciousness. Whatever they do, they leave the world better than they found it. Their wealth often comes through purpose. The more aligned they are with their soul's work, the more life rewards them. January 8th, the high-pressure leader. Born to thrive under pressure, Capricorns born on January 8th are built for intensity. They don't fold under stress, they sharpen. They love the challenge. They rise when stakes are high. And they can outwork, outlast, and outfocus almost anyone. They are warriors in business, law, high-level sales, military, or high-performance industries. Their leadership style is firm, focused, and built on results. They don't just talk about goals, they enforce them. But even in their strength, they must remember to rest. Because their drive is so intense, they can burn themselves out if not careful. When they learn to balance action with recovery, their wealth becomes not just massive, but sustainable. January 9th, the lover with layers. Capricorns born on January 9th are quiet romantics. They don't love loudly, they love deeply. In relationships, they give more through action than words. They notice the little things. They remember your habits, your favorite food, your dreams even when you forget. They are incredibly loyal, and they expect the same in return. But in business, this loyalty becomes brand integrity. They don't cut corners. They value quality. And because of that, they often become trusted names in whatever industry they're in. Their wealth, it grows through connection, reputation, and heartfelt service. And though they may never chase fame, their consistency quietly brings them more recognition than they expect. Life lesson of the visionaries. You were not born to maintain the old system. You were born to upgrade it. Your visions are not fantasies, they are instructions from your higher self. When you learn to trust your instincts and pair them with your signature Capricorn structure, you don't just succeed, you shift realities. Your wealth comes not from following a path, but from carving one that others will one day follow. Part 4, The Guardians, January 11th to 15th. Quiet leadership and influence. There are Capricorns who lead with force. But those born between January 11th and January 15th lead with something much deeper, trust. They don't push. They guide. They don't dominate. They influence. They are the ones who walk into a room and change the energy not by speaking louder, but by being fully present. These Capricorns carry the role of guardians of wisdom, of truth, of tradition, and transformation. People lean on them. People confide in them. And often, people don't realize until much later that these are the people who quietly changed their lives. If you were born during these dates, your greatest strength is not what you show the world. It's the calm authority you carry even in silence. January 11th, the independent negotiator. Capricorns born on January 11th are strong-willed and unafraid to speak up when something feels off. They are not interested in shallow consensus. They seek truth, fairness, and long-term harmony. But here's what sets them apart. They know how to challenge others without triggering defensiveness. They have a way of standing their ground without disrespect. This makes them excellent in careers involving diplomacy, law, consulting, or high-level negotiations. People listen to them not because they demand it, but because they make too much sense to ignore. They often rise to positions of leadership naturally, not because they chase titles, but because they bring structure where others bring confusion. Their wealth comes from strategic clarity, knowing what to say, when to say it, and when to say nothing at all. January 12th, the creative stabilizer. Born under the sign of logic, but gifted with a creative soul. Capricorns on January 12th are living proof that structure and imagination can coexist. These individuals often surprise people. They appear grounded, methodical, reliable. But under the surface, they carry a rich inner world filled with ideas, artistry, and vision. They're drawn to innovation, design, storytelling, or entrepreneurship. But even in creative fields, they don't float, they build. They bring systems to art. They bring timelines to ideas. They bring business to vision. And because of this rare fusion, they often become trendsetters in industries that need both beauty and brains. Their challenge? Doubting themselves. Because their gifts don't always fit the traditional mold, they may question their own path. But when they finally trust their instincts, their wealth grows from the inside out. January 13th, the commander of calm. Capricorns born on this day are natural decision makers. They thrive in chaos not because they enjoy it, but because they know how to end it. These are the people others look to when things go wrong. And they don't disappoint. They don't react emotionally. They assess. They plan. And they act with calm confidence. Because of this, they are often placed in executive roles, leadership positions, or crisis response environments. They shine in medicine, engineering, military, or any profession that requires cool heads and clear thinking. But what truly makes them powerful isn't just how they lead others. It's how they hold themselves accountable, especially when no one's watching. They don't fear consequences. They study them. Their wealth is built through responsibility. They don't just want to succeed, they want to be the kind of person worthy of success. January 14th, the responsible soul. Capricorns born on January 14th often carry the weight of the world even as children. They are old souls. They grow up fast. And they take on more than their fair share, often because others come to depend on them. They are responsible, diligent, and driven. But if they're not careful, they burn out by trying to do too much for too many. They are capable of building massive success, but their true wealth arrives only when they learn to say no. Their lesson in life is not just how to lead others. It's how to lead themselves with compassion. To realize that protecting their energy is not selfish, it's essential. When they find that balance, they become indispensable pillars in their communities, businesses, and families. They succeed because they do what others avoid. And when they finally give themselves the love they so freely give others, the universe begins to multiply everything they've been waiting for. January 15th, the loyal architect. Those born on January 15th are incredibly loyal to people, to principles, and to their inner values. Once they commit to something, they don't quit. This makes them powerful in long-term ventures like real estate, law, education, or legacy businesses. But their greatest strength can also become a trap. Because they value structure, they can become rigid. Because they don't like chaos, they can resist change even when change is necessary. The challenge for them is to learn that loyalty must be aligned with growth. Staying in the wrong place out of duty is not strength. It's self-betrayal. When they allow themselves to evolve and let go of outdated systems, relationships, or goals, they become unstoppable. Their wealth comes when they combine loyalty with wisdom, not just building what lasts, but building what matters. Life lesson of the Guardians. You were not born to impress. You were born to guide. Your leadership is not loud, it's felt. And those who know you, know how deeply your presence shapes the world around you. Your wealth comes when you protect your energy as fiercely as you protect others. When you stop apologizing for your strength. And finally own the quiet power you've had all along. Part 5, The Alchemists, January 16th to 19th, the inner fire that melts obstacles. Some Capricorns are shaped by structure, but those born between January 16th and January 19th are shaped by pressure. These Capricorns carry a fire that few people see because they keep it hidden, controlled, refined. But that fire, it's not for destruction, it's for transformation. They are alchemists, those who take pain and turn it into power, who take setbacks and turn them into strategies. And often, their wealth is born from the very thing that nearly broke them. If you were born during these dates, you're not just strong. You're reborn every time life tries to silence you. And because of that, you're not just destined for success, you're destined for evolutionary mastery. January 16th, the rational transformer. Capricorns born on January 16th are ruled by reason. They analyze everything. They feel deeply, but rarely show it. Their first instinct is always, how can I fix this? They are incredibly composed, even in emotional chaos. They're often the emotional anchor in their circles, even though they rarely talk about their own needs. But beneath that mental clarity is a soul that longs for release. They are highly gifted at planning, advising, mentoring, or building businesses that require deep precision. But their true power lies in their ability to remain calm while everything around them shifts. They don't react. They refine. Their challenge is learning to soften. Because when they allow themselves to feel, not just fix, they unlock a deeper level of joy and abundance follows. Their wealth is slow, solid, and self-sustaining. Because it's built on truth. January 17th, the decisive builder. Capricorns born on January 17th do not hesitate. They are commanders by nature, often misunderstood as stubborn, when in truth, they're just clear. They don't need external validation. They trust their internal compass. And once they decide on a direction, they move with powerful intention. They are built for leadership, especially in areas that require fast decisions, deep responsibility, and mental toughness. But here's what people often miss. They calculate with compassion. They don't just want success, they want to do things the right way. They're often the ones who stay after hours to make sure no detail is missed. The ones who take the fall so others don't have to. The ones who quietly carry more than they show. Their wealth comes from action, not impulsive action, but planned, principled, powerful movement. And when they stop doubting their gut, everything begins to align. January 18th, the perfectionist innovator. Born close to the end of the Capricorn season, these individuals are driven by an inner code of excellence. They don't tolerate mediocrity, not from others, and especially not from themselves. They are often seen as high-strung or intense. But that intensity, it's not ego. It's because they see what could be, and they can't ignore it. They're visionaries with a blueprint. They build companies, systems, tools, whatever it takes to make things better. But perfectionism has a shadow. They often hold themselves to impossible standards, and when life doesn't meet those standards, they feel like they've failed even when they haven't. Their challenge is learning to trust the process. To know that excellence can include grace. And that wealth doesn't have to be perfect, it has to be meaningful. When they let go of control, their innovations shine. And when they accept the imperfections in life, they find abundance was never that far away. January 19th, the legacy creator. Capricorns born on the final day of the sign are the bridge between mastery and mission. They carry all the accumulated strength of the season and the readiness to begin a new chapter. These individuals are driven by a deep need to make an impact. They don't just want success for themselves. They want to build something that matters for their family, their community, or even the world. They are gifted in leadership, education, public service, politics, branding, and innovation. But more than anything, they're natural influencers, not through popularity, but through respect. They walk with a purpose. They think about legacy in everything they do. And because of that, their energy leaves a lasting impression. Their wealth is often tied to influence, not flashy fame, but quiet respect that opens doors. Their lesson: to believe they are worthy now, not just when the mission is complete. Because the moment they own their worth, the world finally sees what it's been waiting for. Life lesson of the alchemists. You were not born to avoid pressure. You were born to harness it. To take the fire life gives you and forge something unbreakable. You are not like others. You feel more. You carry more. You demand more. But that is exactly why you are the one who transforms struggle into strategy, silence into structure, pain into purpose. Your wealth doesn't just come from what you build. It comes from what you survived and how you used it to rise. Conclusion: the millionaire code inside every Capricorn. So here we are. We've walked through the Capricorn season, one day at a time. From the silent strategists of December to the visionary warriors of January. And maybe, as you listened, something inside you stirred. Maybe a line hit too close. Maybe a date reminded you of someone. Maybe, for the first time in a long time, you felt seen. Because here's the truth. You were never meant to be ordinary. You were born Capricorn. And that alone is not a coincidence. Capricorn is the dream builder, the soul climber, the discipline warrior. And though the world may praise louder signs, no sign leaves a deeper legacy than you. But here's what no one tells you. It's not just your sun sign that holds power. It's the day you arrived. Each birth date carries a frequency, a map, a code. Some codes are written for leadership, some for healing, some for rebuilding what others broke, and some are written in silence, but spoken through impact. You may not come from money, you may not have the resources, you may not have the support, but if you're a Capricorn, especially born on the dates we've explored today, then you already carry something more valuable than any external resource. The inner coding for wealth, legacy, and generational strength. And yet, here's the most important thing to remember. You are not your potential. You are what you activate. You can have all the strategy, talent, and drive in the world. But if you never choose to believe in it, you will watch others rise while doubting your own worth. So the real question is not, was I born on a millionaire date? The real question is, will I live like I was? Because wealth isn't just a bank account. It's a mindset. It's a frequency. It's the energy you embody when you stop waiting for permission and start building what you were born to build. Your life lesson, Capricorn. You are not here to impress. You are here to build what outlives you. You are not here to compete. You are here to command. You are not here to chase the spotlight. You are here to become the foundation others rise upon. And if the world misunderstands you, let it. You were never meant to be understood by everyone, only remembered by those who matter. Final message. If you felt connected to any part of this journey, if you saw yourself in the logic of December 22nd, or the fire of January 17th, or the creative leadership of January 12th, then this isn't just a video. It's a reminder that you're not lost. You're not behind. You're just beginning to remember who you've always been. Now is your time. Drop your birth date in the comments. Let us know which part resonated the most with you. Share this video with another Capricorn who needs to hear this. You might be the sign they've been waiting for. And if you want more deep, spiritual, practical astrology, subscribe now to join our journey. Because here at Zodiac Secrets Revealed, we don't just study the stars. We become what we were always written to be. And Capricorn, you were written to rise.